So first off, are you a dog or a cat person?
Do you know, I grew up with cats, so I always thought I was a cat person, but then about 2 years ago, we got a little miniature schnauzer, and I couldn't believe how much a dog can get under your skin. You know, I was the one in the family who was going, we don't need a dog, but we got one, and now I'm the guy that walks her all the time, and yeah, I'm completely in love with her. So I'm now officially a dog person.
Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. Is anyone in your family looking like the dog? Like, like they so classically do in the story?
Yeah, no, it's
Dogs look.
difficult. You know, a schnauzer has a lot of hair, which obviously I don't. So I'm certainly not looking like the dog. And I think it would be an insult to suggest that my wife does. So we just leave it that we're not one of those sort of, we look like our dog families.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you play Emma Thompson's valet in Cruella, and she is
Hmm.
so incredibly evil.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked for anyone who's been a difficult boss?
In my life, no, not really, actually. I think, you know, in life, I try and get along with people. So I will always make things as easy as possible. If someone's a little tricky, I tend to work out very quickly how to deal with them and try and put oil on troubled waters. But yeah, you know, I can think of a particular person who is a bit grumpy and a little selfish, but I work out a way to get along with
Oh, that's great. I like that positivity.
them.
So sometimes she's just so over the top evil, and your character has to keep a straight face during those scenes. Did you guys ever break? Did you ever laugh during filming those
I
scenes?
did. I did. I mean, I cracked up all the time. I mean, but with both Emmas, in fact, but particularly with Emma Thompson, because she does such a wonderful evil, you know, this sort of dead eye look that she gives people. I was doing most of the cracking up. She wasn't cracking up that much because most of the time she was in very tight corsets. So it was all she could do to breathe.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, you're no stranger to being the villain yourself. You're a fan favorite in DC movies, like when you played Sinestro and Dr. Sivana. Do you ever think those villains could get a semi-heroic makeover like Cruella?
Uh, I don't see why not. I mean, what's been really fascinating about Cruella is how the origin story really works, you know, so it does open up a whole world of possibly, you know, finding out where all these evil characters or these nasty characters come from and why they are the way they are. I always find that when I try and play a character like that, I try and work out a backstory to give a villain a reason for being the bad guy, because I never believe that you're just bad. You know, there's always
Yeah,
something.
right.
In fact, Shazam was a really interesting movie because you saw the backstory of the bad guy from being a little kid. And I found that really interesting. So it does open up the possibility of all those villains becoming, you know, having a history and being explained. But in Cruella, it's just done so brilliantly because you totally believe that the girl that you end up with, or the woman I should say you end up with, has come from the girl that we've just seen throughout the movie.
No, I believe that. And speaking of fashion, by the way, your Sivana coat was fabulous.
Thanks very much. Thank you. I loved that. Yeah.
It was
It
really
was a good
cool.
look. A sort of Mao collar and a leather jacket is always
Oh,
a
it
win.
was so great.
Yeah.
As someone, you're British, and this is a classic British children's novel. What do you like best about the way Cruella represents the UK? The movie.
I think it did a brilliant job at the period element of it. I mean, to see London in the 70s like that, you know, and to see Liberties, that store, which has been around for forever, portrayed in that era was fascinating to me. I mean, I always love films that show London, and sometimes they can be a little over the top. There's too many bobbies, there's too many double-decker buses, you know, the sort of touch points that always make you think of London. But this was done much more street, I thought, much more punky, and I thought the whole fashion vibe was really well done. So it really felt like the London I remember from the 70s.
It was really cool. You were so great as Merlin in Kingsman. I cried when you sang Country Roads. It was
Thank
just
you.
so touching. And now you're John the valet. What would you say makes the perfect right-hand man?
I think you have to watch and listen and be present. like I say, having played a lot of villains in my time, I know how to deal with somebody who is a villain. So
Ah,
I think the point about Jean that's interesting is that he knows a lot about the Baroness's backstory, and he's keeping it close to his chest. He's not letting on. And I think, just being, I did a lot of lurking in the movie, let's put it that way. So I
yes.
think, yeah, just being present and watching and listening is a good note.
And without spoilers, when I tweeted about how much I like the movie and how much I like Cruella, some people were like, "How can anyone be sympathetic for a character as evil as Cruella de Vil?" What would you say to people who are who are apprehensive about rooting for the villain in this case?
Well, they just need to go and watch the movie, because I think what they've done that's brilliant is they really have laid out a kind of history for her that finds you rooting for her at the end of the movie, because there she is in all her glory, being the evil Cruella, and you're still on her side. And I think that's what the origin story does so brilliantly. It gives you a really sympathetic look at the life that she's led and why she's become the woman that she eventually becomes. I think it's done really well.
Well, I think
So,
it really.
so sorry, not to interrupt, to
Oh,
answer
sure.
your question. People shouldn't really worry, because what they're being given is an opportunity to examine why the Cruella that they think of as being this evil, nasty woman has become the person that she is.
I really enjoyed it. So by the way, it screams
Great.
out for a sequel, and I look forward to seeing you in the sequel.
I would love that. Yeah. Thank you.